10 accidents that turned fun into horror.
Kyle Wheeler clenched his teeth and held on to the railing of the accelerator roller coaster. In the footage, we can see how scared he is. And in just a second, something very strange happens. The boy seems to temporarily go unconscious.
Wait, did he just get shot?
Accelerator roller coaster. In the footage, we can see how scared he is. And in just a second, something very strange happens.
Bro, a
the
bomb
boy
went
seems
off!
to temporarily go unconscious, and his father, sitting right by his side, is scrunching his face. In that instant, one of the ride's launch cables snapped in half. It tore the fiberglass car apart. The shards hit Kyle's father in the face and lashed the boy's left calf. After the incident, Kyle underwent surgery to repair his traumatized leg muscle and graft skin over the injured area. The investigation showed that the faulty cable was worn out and needed replacement. Be diligent and Google the age of the amusement park rides you frequent to know for sure if they're safe to use.
I'm good at it, going them
However, old
anyway.
defective details are not the only issue with roller coasters. Watch the video until the end to find out what can kill you in an amusement park.
Makes me feel sick looking at it.
Viewer discretion is advised.
Makes me feel sick
June
looking at it.
June 13th, 2024, Bulgaria. A 42-year-old tourist from Ukraine was enjoying her evening leisure at Sunny Beach Luna Park.
You love him? I'm
the
sorry.
The operator sat her on the max adrenaline roller coaster, lowered the shoulder restraints, and started the engine. The ride carriages started moving and accelerating. Finally, its steep climbs and descents had the passengers screaming in ecstasy. Suddenly, the woman fell from a staggering height of 7 meters. The entire park went silent, and visitors crowded the site, hoping that the victim was still alive and breathing.
Bro, was she not strapped in?
Right away, the tourist was hospitalized, and the doctors diagnosed her with chest trauma, including fractured ribs. Despite all, the woman survived. What had gone wrong, though? The visitors who had taken the ride days before said the operators had been experiencing some issues with securing the seat restraints, yet apparently they didn't stop the roller coaster from operating.
Money.
So, remember, normally the shoulder restraint produces a recognizable clicking sound when lowered securely. If there's a gap between your body and the restraint, immediately inform the operator. If the problem hasn't been solved, leave the roller coaster immediately. October 20, 2023, Virginia. An 8-year-old boy was sitting snugly.
I ain't gonna lie, if I'm going on a big roller coaster, which I will never will, but if I did, then yo, I want to be triple strapped into it. Tripled, mate.
On the Storm roller coaster, which he had picked himself out of all the other rides at a fun fair. It's a roller coaster that simulates a powerful storm. The carriages spin in circles at a dizzying speed while also rotating around their own axis. Suddenly, as soon as the mechanism accelerated, the boy started slipping under the railing, which was supposed to keep him in place. During a sharp turn, he got thrown out of his seat. Meanwhile, the ride continued its movement. Another carriage hit the child and flung him to the fence.
Wait, what do you mean continued? Isn't there an emergency stop? Nobody sees the boy that's just flown out the seat? There's no emergency stop?
Around the roller coaster. Everything happened so fast that no one saw it. But Matthew Nugent, the boy's father, noticed that his son's seat was empty for some reason. The man tried to catch the operator's attention.
Wait, this is the ride right here. This is real footage. Nobody's seen the guy slip out, not even his father next to him.
Noticed that his son's seat was empty for some reason. The man tried to catch the operator's attention, but his frantic attempts went unnoticed. Eventually, the father jumped over the fence to get to his child. And only then...
Yo, by the way, just a heads up, right? I did go on a ride, either this year or last year, I can't remember. It was at the safari park. And do you guys know the big ship that like rocks? Bro, the operators don't stop the ride, right? Because I was rocking and it was horrible. I was hating it. Izzy turned around to me and said, "You do know this ride flips upside down, right?" I immediately freaked out, and I was like I was saying to the operator, I was like, "Stop the fucking ride! Stop it!" He didn't stop it, bro. It didn't flip. The ride didn't flip. She lied. She fucking made me panic. But in that moment, I know the operators don't stop if you're freaking out. They don't. Because I was like, "Stop this fucking ride!" I was freaking out. He was looking at me. He didn't stop it. He didn't stop it. They don't stop him.
Did the operator stop the roller coaster? The boy was immediately taken to the hospital, where he was diagnosed with a broken foot and a leg laceration. The experts found no technical issues with the ride's operation after the tragedy.
Probably because it was like a ride designed for kids. And I might have been the only person ever to freak out on it. I don't know. But yo, all rides are scary, bro.
Yet, on the following day, something suspicious happened. The minimum height required to go on the ride was increased. Most likely, the roller coaster's engineers had made mistakes in their calculations, but didn't want to admit it.
Mad.
That's why it's best to avoid going on a ride if your height is close to the minimum required. Yet roller coaster tragedies happen even when all safety precautions seem to have been taken. April 2011, Warrington, Cheshire County, United Kingdom. 20-year-old Emma Neild was sitting in the car of the Antelope ride in the Gulliver's World amusement park. This roller coaster is known for its steep descents and climbs. The car sped up and took sharp turns, but Emma didn't feel the anticipated euphoria, since the dramatic oscillations were forcing her head to rock chaotically forward and backward.
What?
This is what scares me the most in some roller coasters. You can only realize that something went wrong after the mechanism's been set off. Yet since everything around you is hurtling somewhere at a staggering speed, you can't escape or even give some kind of sign to the operator. You're totally helpless.
Yo, James. Okay, chat, I've got to admit, this was the worst time. Like, I don't even know how to say this without sounding like a complete dick. Because if I was the kid's parents, I would have beaten me up, right? But James, Izzy got me to go on a kid's roller coaster. It was like this, but smaller, right? There was loads of kids. Me and Izzy, this was at the safari park when I actually decided to go on the roller coaster with the kids. I thought, you know what? I'm not going to be a pussy, right? So I went on this tiny roller coaster. No flips, no nothing. Just fast movement, right? There's a load of kids on the roller coaster, yeah? Me and Izzy, I think was at the front. The ride started. It went quicker than I fucking expected, right? Bro, the words that came out of my mouth, if I was one of those kids' parents, I would have knocked me the fuck out. There's kids on the ride, and you got a grown-ass man going, oh, shit, fuck, no, fuck, I'm gonna die, oh, shit, fuck. I couldn't help it. My reactions got the better of me, bro. Luckily, everyone on the ride was laughing their head off. Everyone off the ride was laughing, but yo, if there was any Karen there who didn't want a grown-ass man swearing in front of the kids, bro, they would have knocked me clean out, bro, because I was freaking. It was horrible. I swear there was like a fucking 7-year-old kid on it, bro. It was only a small one. It was horrible though. I feel bad. Like no adult should be swearing their kids, right? Especially other people's kids. I feel so bad for doing that, but I couldn't help it. It just came out. You know what I mean? It just came out.
Emma was feeling the same.
I couldn't help it.
She was experiencing a sharp pain in her neck and back and was forced to wait for the hellish ride to end.
I thought I was going to die.
Right after the girl stepped off the roller coaster, her condition worsened. She felt nauseous and couldn't stay upright. Her parents took her to the hospital. An MRI scan confirmed severe spinal cord damage that left the girl paralyzed below the waist. Emma spent 5 months in the hospital. Gulliver's World went on to outright deny their responsibility, claiming that the ride had been operating safely for
the ride that I went on was like, I think the highest point of the ride that I went on went like here. But like there was so many turns and like, I thought it was only a small like slow kid one. It went fast as fuck, bro. It was rapid, man. I wasn't expecting it. Luckily, everyone off the ride wasn't pissed. Wait, why is it horses, bro? They was laughing their heads off. Are these fake?
20 years.
Yeah, they are.
Neild family's attorneys are still fighting for compensation, noting that the roller coaster seats and safety belts hadn't been designed for a child as short as Emma. Even though she'd met the minimum requirement to be allowed on the ride, the seat and belts didn't provide the necessary support to her body and head. This legal case has been going on for years, though. Today, Emma's still wheelchair-bound and needs constant assistance in her daily life. 13 years of rehabilitation have yielded results, though. The girl can stand for a bit, as well as take a few steps. Despite everything, Emma's...
What's the safari park? Safari Park, there's one in Birmingham. It's like where they show like the safari animals. So there's like animals and that, but like on the park as well, they have like a small like ride section.
Trying to live a full life, she drives, works, travels, and rides horses. The victims of the following stories were not as lucky. April 2004, Oakwood, Pembrokeshire. 16-year-old Hayley Williams joined her mother and sister on a trip to an amusement park, hoping to have tons of fun. The girl picked a ride called Hydra, one of the fastest and tallest water rides in Europe, standing proudly at almost 37 meters tall. Hayley'd been on this ride before and knew this would be an unforgettable experience. The girl made herself comfortable in one of the boat's 24 seats, and it plummeted at a speed of 81 kilometers per hour, stirring up a giant wave. However, when the boat went up, suddenly, in front of hundreds of onlookers, Hayley fell from a height of approximately 30.5 meters. All resuscitation attempts that the paramedics started turned out in vain. The girl was taken to the hospital, where the doctors pronounced her dead after sustaining serious trauma.
What?
The investigation revealed that the safety system meant to keep the passengers in their seats had failed. The safety bars on the seats hadn't been fully lowered and secured before the ride's descent, which caused the tragedy. The mechanical engineer who made the assessment said the roller coaster's safety was unacceptable. He checked the seats and said that he could easily slip from his place even after lowering the bar. It's no wonder Hayley fell out of the roller coaster at a great speed. Still, the investigation didn't find evidence of gross negligence by the personnel and ruled out an unlawful killing verdict. Before the ride is started, don't be shy to ask the operator how exactly you need to secure yourself and what exactly to hold on to. This will give you crucial information for a safe ride and incentivize the operator to check every system more thoroughly. Since there have been instances when one small fault with the ride that went unnoticed by the employee and park owners led to a massive tragedy with more than 1 or 2 victims. August 14th, 2019, Ahmedabad, the Indian state of Gujarat. Balvatika Amusement Park near Concordia Lake was, as always, welcoming crowds of visitors. The Discovery roller coaster, which could accommodate up to 32 people, was jam-packed with visitors, and only one seat remained unfilled. Discovery was a pendulum ride, and the platform with the people on it went up very high.
Are you fucking
Park
mad?
visitors were filming the ride with their phones when suddenly, a horrific tragedy got caught in the footage. The mechanism's main cable snapped unexpectedly, and the pendulum started falling from a height of 6 meters, tossing the passengers around. 2 people died on the spot. 24-year-old Manali Radzvadi and 22-year-old Mohammed Zaid Momin. 29 other people were injured, and 3 victims were in critical condition. To avoid more injuries, the park administration evacuated the visitors. The police detained representatives of the Superstar Amusement Private Limited Company that partnered with the park and was responsible for the faulty ride.
Mad.
However, it's unknown exactly how the case ended. Remember that as a park visitor, you have the right to request documents confirming that the ride has gone through a technical assessment. So don't shy away from using this right.
Yo, is anyone really gonna ask for documents though? Just listen, if you're that scared to the point where you're asking documents, just don't even go on the ride. Imagine someone holding up the ride being like, hold up guys, hold up. Can you please get me the safety and regulation documents, please? Can you just please, wherever you keep them, I don't know where you keep them, can you just quickly just go get them so I can scan through these documents so I can go on the ride? Bro, just don't go on the ride. Just don't go on the ride at that point because you're obviously terrified. You know what I mean? If you need to ask for them, just don't go on it. It's better if you don't.
If you're unsure of the roller coaster's safety, yet sometimes only the visitor is to blame for their own demise.
Yo, if I worked at a roller coaster place and someone asked me to go get the documents, I'm like, fuck off. just fuck off. Don't go on the ride. Go on that little one over there.
June 19th, 2024, Kings Island. There was a line in front of Banshee, the world's longest inverted roller coaster. 38-year-old Artanero Nelson was in that line too. He was simply ecstatic at the thought of the ride that achieved a speed of 109 kilometers per hour and had its carriages reach a staggering height of 51 meters. Yet, it wasn't during the ride when the scariest thing happened. It was after the fun was over. Artanero got off the roller coaster and noticed his keys had fallen out during the ride. Instead of going to the Banshee operators, the man decided to try to solve this problem alone. He climbed over the fence, around the roller coaster tracks, and went looking for his keys. At that moment, the operators, failing to notice the intruder, welcomed the next batch of visitors into the carriages and started the ride. At a dizzying speed, one of the carriages knocked Artanero down. Almost immediately after the incident, park employees found him under the roller coaster with critical injuries. The man was immediately hospitalized, but sadly, 2 days later, his life came to an end.
Damn. Yo, rip, but like, why? Why in any idea would you think that's safe? Do you know what I'm saying? Like, just ask someone.
Never enter restricted areas in amusement parks, and always listen to the operators who tell you where to go, because breaking the rules may prove fatal for you. Just like it happened to the protagonist of the next story. August 3rd, 2022, Dover, England, 3 a.m. 14-year-old Mackenzie Croxford Cook met up with his friends, and together they took a train to Forest Amusement's Family Fun Fair in Penster Gardens. The park was due to open in a few hours, but the boys decided to fool around and sneaked into a restricted area. First, the teenagers jumped on some trampolines, and then they approached the roller coasters. The ride that caught their attention was Body Count. It consists of 4-seat gondolas that go up in circle at a great speed. Mackenzie was trying to climb onto the ride's hydraulic supporting beam when the other boys started pushing the gondolas. Suddenly, they heard an ear-piercing scream. The ride spun in such a way that Mackenzie found himself wedged between the support beam and one of the crossbars to which the gondolas were attached.
Wait, why is he there? Why? And first of all, yeah, it's called Body Count. Do you know what that means? I ain't going on rides, but I'm definitely not going on a ride called Body Count, bro. That's collecting body counts.
Up in circle at a great speed.
Why is he there?
Mackenzie was trying to climb onto the ride's hydraulic supporting beam.
Why?
When the other boys started pushing the gondolas.
Why?
Suddenly, they heard an ear-piercing scream. The ride spun in such a way that Mackenzie found himself wedged between the support beam and one of the crossbars to which the gondolas were attached. His chest got crushed and he was screaming from pain. The terrified boys tried to push the gondolas in the opposite direction but failed. They called the rescue service and awaited, sick with fear. It was getting harder for Mackenzie to speak and move, and his body was turning red. The pressure tore his liver and spleen. One of the boys, realizing that his friend was most likely going to die, kissed Mackenzie on the forehead and said these parting words: "I love you, Mackie." The victim died before help could arrive. During the investigation, Maria Forrest, the fun fair organizer, explained that there were supposed to have been at least 3 guards in the park. Yet, she also admitted that the Dover District Council didn't exact the presence of guards near closed attractions.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, that's not really the attraction's fault. You don't sneak into fucking roller coaster places and like go on them when no one's like, bro, what? You don't do that, bro. Ashley, appreciate the prime, Ashley.
Never enter restricted areas and never use rides without the operator. However, sometimes amusement park incidents can happen for less obvious reasons.
Yeah, you just don't do that.
February 11th, 2024.
Like, I understand sneaking into places where, like, you know, like with like climbing frames or like an outdoor pool. Roller coasters, bro. You're really gonna sneak on roller coasters and try and push it to work? Mad.
Salou, Tarragona, Spain. A woman named Raquel, with her partner and 2 kids, aged 8 and 6, went on the Tomahawk roller coaster in the luxurious Portaventura amusement park in Salou, Tarragona, on the coast of Catalonia. While the train was speeding forward, a strong gust of wind felled a tree growing near the ride. Large, heavy branches started falling right onto the tracks of Tomahawk. Raquel and the kids had the time to lean down and avoid serious injury. On the other hand, the woman's partner was rather tall, so he failed to evade the blow. The man sustained injuries and went unconscious. Yet the ride operator wouldn't have been able to react that fast anyway. And even if he'd stopped the mechanism, the carriages would have continued moving due to inertia. The total victim count after the incident amounted to 14 people. All of the passengers were provided medical assistance, so luckily, they survived. However, distressing memories of the event will stay with them forever.
Damn, bro.
Park employees always have to pay attention to weather conditions to be able to stop the operation of the ride until the weather stabilizes. So just in case, don't go on roller coaster rides during strong wind or even worse, in the rain.
I don't plan it, mate.
Still, sometimes the reason for an accident can be even more unpredictable.
Yo, listen, like, bro, oh, man, I've seen, like, my family has been on these rides, this kind of ride. Why would you, like, look at this, man. Why would you go on that? Why would you go on that?
Still, sometimes the reason for an accident can be even more unpredictable. February 2018, Frankenmuth, Michigan, United States. 10-year-old London Eisenbeis was eagerly awaiting the moment when she'd conquer the largest high-speed roller coaster called the Super Loop Speed Ride in Zender's Splash Village Water Park. The ride reaches 83 meters in length and is famous for its rapid descent with a 360-degree loop that takes only 6.9 seconds to complete.
I don't mind rides
London
like
was
this.
a short
I've gone
girl,
that.
so she barely met the height requirement of 1 meter 22 centimeters. The girl's mom, Tina, stayed on the ground, waiting for her family, and London with her sister and father took her chance on the giant ride. Minutes later, the woman was aghast to see that visitors were being evacuated from the ride. The park employees were
Oh, wait, 10 years old? I'm trying to... Wait, why wouldn't someone go down with her? Because I've been on... depends how tall she is, though. But, yeah, depending on how big this is. Because I've gone down rides before with my sisters and that. When they're too small.
gathering around it, and someone's body was covered with a sheet. Tina rushed to the site, terrified to even imagine it possibly being her child. Sadly, she was right. It was London. During the descent, the girl suddenly started feeling unwell. In one moment, her heart stopped, and poor London went into a coma.
What?
The doctors informed her parents of severe brain damage due to oxygen deficiency. For 9 days, London kept fighting for her life, but on February 27th, her heart stopped beating.
Oh,
but what happened in the water ride's pipe? The assessment showed that the Super Loop speed ride wasn't responsible for London's death. The doctors diagnosed the girl with long QT syndrome, which causes heart rhythm disturbances. Neither the girl nor her family knew that she had it. The condition may cause a person to faint, even while experiencing strong emotions, be it fear or joy.
Oh shit, that's horrible.
This case shows that roller coasters aren't always at fault, so it's essential to do regular health checkups. Tell me in the comments, what was the most dangerous ride you've ever been on? Were you afraid something would go wrong? I don't want to.
I'm not saying the dangerous ride I've ever been on, because it's a tiny ride, and people will laugh at me. But yeah, the biggest ride I've ever been on is tiny.